Hello everyone, this is the North America Math Contest Go Go Go. This week we are going to talk about array and array list. So first, what is an array? An array is a data structure consists of many elements of the same kind. This is the definition of array. For example, this is an array. So array value. So every array has an index. Every element of an array has an index value. The indexed value starts from 0 and ends at n-1. An array cannot have negative value. If it has one, then it will show an arrow, which this is something we are going to be tested. The index value represents the place. It should be index value. Index value represents the place it has, the place the element of the array is in. So after we understand this, we first will be introduced how to initialize the array. We are going to talk about how to initialize the array. To initialize the array, there are three methods. There are three ways. The first way is like this. Type. This part you need to replace it with a type like int and string. Name. This is the name of thing that you want to initialize, equals to new type total number of element. There are generally three ways to initialize this. This is the first way. The second way is pretty similar to the first way, which is like this. New type total element of number of element. The third way consists of two lines, which is like this. Type name. Name equals to new type number of element. So for example, a way to initialize it is dance is equals to. It's like this. Remember, number of element cannot be negative. Let's see what will happen if we set it as negative. Oh, this is double. Let's redo it. Now it shows a Java long negative array style exception. Or else it will show negative java.len.negative array size exception. After you understand this, we will talk about how to initialize certain value of the list. This is what we are going to talk about. So generally, let's start with an example. Let's say we want to initialize the value as 1, 5, 10, 25. So we first, using the array, good. So our first step is to define the array like this, which since it has 4 values, we set it as 4. This represents good. 0 represents the first element of the array is equal to 1. Good 1 is equivalent to 5. Good 2 is equivalent to 10. Good 3 is equivalent to 25. So we are done. Or you can use a more easier way. So this is 5 lines, so it is complex. We will put him into an easier way, like this. Int coins, int good is equals to 1, 5, 10, 25. These are the 2 ways of initializing certain values of array. Still, remember another thing. You still cannot put negative values in the element, or else it will show the same thing, which is negative array size exception. 24 here. Now we need to talk about how to print out the array. To print out the array, you first need to use the for to help you. Now we give out another example. Print out the array of length 5 and element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we first need to define the array. Google is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this step allows initialization. And then the second step, what we are going to do is to print out, which is by using loop. Int I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. System.out.print Google I plus this. So this is the code of printing it out. Or if you think that finding the length of the array is too difficult, then you can just use Google.length. This will be the easier way to replace. Now let's try the result. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is printed out. Just some notes. I less than Google.length can be replaced as I is less than Google.length minus 1. Okay. So now we need to talk about another way. We need to talk about the for each loop, which helps you C. Access the specific index of the array. Specific. So to do this, so the structure of the for each loop are like this. For array name type array name which this allows access to every array, every element index of the array. Let's make an example. This is an example that we are going to do. This will help us demonstrate it. So, we first set a counter, which is count, which helps us count the number of elements. This is our first step, and then we set up int for int num not array, which we need to initialize an array. Int grade is equals to 0, 8, 8, 19, 2. Int number. Then we just use the grade. We just use this part of the code, grade. So remember, do not use for int num grade. Use this grade. Then you need a bracket. Oh, that's an accident. Then you just do the check if num So remember here, the num represents every element. The num represents the element starting on. The num represents the element instead of the I purpose in for. So what does this mean? This means that when it is running, it is the first time it runs, it represents grade 0. The second time it goes back, it refers to grade 1. The third time it runs, it refers to grade 2. The fourth time it runs, it refers to grade 3. It just keeps running until it reaches this, until it reaches grade n-1. Here, do not use grade num because it will cause java.out-of-bound exception. So these are just the basic knowledge of accessing it.